Hello, Mr. Richard here to talk to you about gluten. Now, what is gluten? Gluten is simply just protein molecules found in wheat and in barley and rye and a few other grains, but mostly just wheat. So, where do you find gluten at? Obviously, flour, which is made of wheat. You're going to find it in spaghettis, any kind of pastas. Most pastas are going to have wheat in them, so this is made out of wheat. Although it's organic, it's better for you. Well, it still has wheat in it. This has wheat in it. Triscuits, I love, they're delicious, but they are whole wheat. Most granola bars are gonna have some kind of grain in them that holds it together. Gonna have gluten in it. This has, it's multi-grain, which is good, but it's got some wheat in it. The whole wheat pitas, okay, they all have gluten in them. Now, Mr. Richard, why do you have those at your house? Because I'm not gluten intolerant. Okay, I don't have celiac disease, which would be a disease where if you have things like, or foods like gluten or, wheat bread or Triscuits or cereals or spaghettis that have wheat in them, well, you're going to have some discomfort, maybe some gas, some stomach aches. You're not going to feel very good. You'll know it pretty quickly if you have celiac disease and then you eat something that has wheat in it. So, fortunately for all those gluten intolerant people out there, there are lots of alternatives, which there were not a few years ago. So, most aisles in grocery stores will have a whole gluten-free section. Okay, now this is bread, which typically is going to have gluten in it, but this one does not, because actually it says right in here, gluten-free whole grain. Well, how'd they make the bread if they didn't use flour to make bread? Well, instead they're going to use potato flour and rice flour, which is the majority of this bread right here. And the majority, by the way, of other gluten-free products are going to be, instead of using wheat, they're just going to use potatoes or rice, other options instead of wheat. So why is it an issue now and it wasn't years ago? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's because of the genetically modified foods, who knows? Not going to get into that part of it, but some people have celiac disease, maybe not a full-out disease. Sometimes they will have just some discomfort if you have gluten. That's okay. It's very common now. You'll find it in most restaurants. You'll say GF, which means gluten-free on the menu. So there's lots of options out there for you. Just be aware of it. If you think you have an issue, just test it out. Don't eat things that have gluten in them for a while, for 2 weeks. Then eat a slice of bread, see what happens to you. But otherwise, typically speaking, wheat is healthy for you unless you've got celiac disease. Then you're in trouble. / you just got to watch what you eat. Adios, guys. Now you know.